Hi, this is Richard C. I'm a math tutor here at Wyzant, answering a question submitted by a student. So this person is taking Algebra 2, and they're starting to learn transformations of a graph, and they're starting with translate what's called translations, which is moving up and down, left and right, and then they've also learned a little bit about reflections. So I'm just going to put the rules down here in red, and then you can, and we'll apply them to this particular example. Also, these are not all the rules you're going to learn. So the translation rule, remember f of x is the parent function. So g of x is the child function, and this is going to be equal to f of x minus h plus k. Oops. So h is the horizontal shift. K is the vertical shift. So if h is positive, you're going to the right. If h is negative, you're going to the left. If k is positive, you're going up. If k is negative, you're going down. And the other one you have here that you're using in this problem is reflections. And here would be g of x equals f of negative x. And that's reflecting about the y-axis. And g of x is equal to negative f of x. And that's reflecting about the x-axis. So these are the things we need to know to do this problem, but there are other things that you haven't come across yet in school. Okay, so our parent up here is f of x. So this is f of x is equal to 5 to the x. So if I want to shift it up 7, it's going to be y or g of x. I've been using g of x down here, so I'm going to continue with that same notation. G of x would be, now here k is 0, we're not moving it horizontally, we're just going up 7 units. So it's going to be 5 to the x minus 0 plus 7. I'm just putting that 0 in there so that you can see how this is working. So x is replaced with x minus h. But of course we don't write it that way. So it'd just be 5 to the x plus 7. And that's the way to answer this one. There are other ways of looking at these things and writing them down in different ways, in different notations. This may not be exactly what the teacher is doing in class, and if it's not the same, hopefully you'll be able to see how this maps to the way the teacher's doing it in class. And now we're going to move 8 to the right, so g of x here is going to be 5 to the x minus 8. This often confuses people, plus 0. Why? Because we want to move to the right, so h is positive, but we're subtracting h. So we're replacing x with x minus h. See how this is a replacement rule? The original is x, the parent is x, the child is x minus h. So this can confuse people. Well, I want to move the graph to the right. Why am I subtracting 8? It's counterintuitive. But let me just make this further note. H positive, you're going right. H negative, you're going left. Boy, that's horrible. Okay, so if H is positive, you're going right. If H is negative, you're going left. Same thing with K. K is more intuitive. If K is positive, you're going up. If K is negative, you're going down. So we're not going up or down, we're just going to the right. So we can just ignore that 0. I just have it in there to match this formula here that I'm giving to you. So this is 5 to the x minus 8. And now reflecting about the x-axis, so here we want to reflect it about the x-axis, so we just put a negative in front of the parent. So g of x is just going to be negative 5 to the x. And another nice thing about this is you can graph them. I assume you have a graphing calculator, and if you don't, you can just go online and get into a graphing calculator like Desmos. And you can see the graphs of each one of these, and you can see if you plug this in, you'll see that it's been shifted up 7, and this has been, and if you plug that in and then put in this, you'll see that it's been moved to the right 8 units, and this one you'll see that it's flipped over the x-axis. And it's easy to confirm this on your calculator. My advice to you here is to keep doing these. The more you do them, the more comfortable you'll get. And also, the list of things that you're going to do to a function is longer than this list. I've just given you 2 things, translations and reflections, but there are also scale changes and there can be rotations and so on, depending on what your teacher, what level of Algebra 2 you're taking and what the teacher has to cover. Okay, so that's it for this one. I hope that helped. I'll see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.